two ways in which the keep forgetting words work. Number one, forget the words. Now you have heard it. You are like, I know the meaning. I'm not able to pinpoint. It's there in your memory. It's there in your vocabulary bank, but you are not using it. It's kept there. Just like a bank, like you deposit money in a bank and then you do not take it out. And if you don't use it, big solution that can prevent you from forgetting words. Hi everyone, my name is Shalima and welcome back to my another session of learning English and improving your English speaking skills with me. So guys, today in this session of learning English, I have something important for you, a problem that a lot of English learners they face, and that is you keep forgetting words. Now, keep forgetting words, this might sound familiar. It's a huge problem. I think almost everybody faces the problem, right? So that they are learning words, they are learning new words, they are improving the vocabulary, but simultaneously you keep forgetting words. You are learning new words, but you can't do anything. You are forgetting them once that you have maybe learned 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, and you can hardly remember 1 or 2 out of those 10 words that you might have the new words, right? So this today's video is going to help you a lot if you face similar problem. Now when you will learn new words, you will not forget them, because today I am going to tell you why this is happening and what is the solution and how can you stop yourself from forgetting words and the vocabulary that you are learning. So are you guys ready for this? If you are ready, please let me know in the comment section. And before beginning, please subscribe to the channel so that you can get all the lessons that I post for you on this channel. Please like the video and share it with your friends, with your loved ones, and with the person who really need this. So guys, now coming back to today's lesson, that is you keep forgetting words. Now there are two ways in which the keep forgetting words work. Number one is you keep forgetting words while speaking English. Now when you keep forgetting words while speaking English, it gives rise to a particular problem that is known as getting stuck while speaking English. So for this, the first problem we have already covered it in the lesson, and this is the lesson. You can check it out today, in my playlist. What I'm going to address here is the forgetting of words that you learn, that you keep forgetting the words that you learn. You keep forgetting the vocabulary, so that today's video is about vocabulary enrichment, because you need words. When you speak English, obviously need words to construct sentences, to express yourself, to communicate. How will you communicate otherwise? So vocabulary is important, and today's video is targeting the vocabulary that you learn, how to remember it, how not to forget it, and why you forget it. Okay, so now let's understand this with a situation that I am sure that you will be able to relate to it. You will get the answer of how not to forget those words that you are learning. Okay, imagine you are in a situation and you are enriching your vocabulary. You are listening to things, you are reading things, and you are probably learning new words, right? Now you have learned a word, okay, you have taken it up, you have learned the meaning, everything. Now when you listen to it again, maybe you are listening to a podcast, you are watching a movie, or you listen to the word once again, this is the time you can recognize the word. Oh yeah, I have heard this word before. Yes, but you are not able to pinpoint the meaning exactly. I have heard the word before. What does it exactly mean? You are not able to recall the meanings of that word, or probably the uses of that word, the proper word, the meaning of that particular word right now in this particular case, what to do. For example, the word prodigy. The word prodigy means someone who is gifted, intelligent child. Now you have learned the word, you know the meaning, but you forget the words. Now you have heard it, you are like, I know the meaning, I am not able to pinpoint it. Why this is happening? Why this happens? Now the situation arises because you have learned the word, right? But it's in your passive vocabulary. The passive vocabulary, now what is passive vocabulary? First of all, the passive vocabulary, let me ask you a few questions. You will answer them, okay? You will get to know, it believes me, there are words that you might have heard, yes, that you can recognize, you might have read, you can recognize that too. I have read this word once. The word that you have learned, right, they are in your knowledge. You know the meaning of that word, but the word that you do not use, for example, the word Della, you know the meaning, yes, but do you use it? That's the thing, the word that you know the meaning, but you are not sure how to use them. You never use them while speaking. You never use them in your speaking, in your sentences. That is your passive vocabulary. And as a language learner, people carry huge amount of passive vocabulary. I think everybody in the world, they have some kind of passive vocabulary. So they do not use those particular words. That passive vocabulary is the reason why you keep forgetting words. The words, because after some time what happens is that passive vocabulary expires. Expires is like it is there in your knowledge, but you do not use it ever, and slowly and gradually it's slipping out of your memory. You are no longer connected to that word. There is no connection, there is no revising, no repetition, no uses of that word. Hence, you forget the word. Passive vocabulary is what makes you forget the words, because once you have learned it, you are not using it. It's there in your memory. It's there in your vocabulary bank, but you are not using it. It's kept there. Just like a bank, like you deposit money in a bank and then you do not take it out. And if you don't use it, it's there, it's kept there in your bank. That is what you do with the words, okay? You are learning. You are depositing the words in your passive vocabulary. The passive memory, you are not using them. So you are depositing words after words after words without using. Then what happens when you compile certain words, okay, word number and word number 2 or 3 or 4, 5, 6, by the time you reach word number 10, you forget what was there with the word number 1. What was the meaning exactly? How to use it in a sentence exactly? You forget. Okay, you forget everything about that. And that's why you forget words, because you have so much passive vocabulary that you are not converting into your active vocabulary. Now guys, what is active vocabulary? Active vocabulary I talk about a lot in my previous videos. I have told you time and time again, the active vocabulary is the vocabulary that you are confident enough in using, that you can use on a daily basis. For instance, you use the word confusion, but you do not use the word Della. Often, so Della, you know the meaning of Della, but it's there in your passive vocabulary. You use the word confusion actively. That's why it's in your active vocabulary. So that is the difference between passive vocabulary and active vocabulary. That's passive vocabulary is something that you do not use. You know the word, you know the meaning. It's there with you. You might have heard it somewhere. You are able to recognize the words, Okay, this word is actually familiar. Even if you are not so sure about that meaning, the word, they seem familiar because somewhere or not, you might have read it. You might be curious. You might have searched the meaning and then left it. Just like that, that now why you keep on increasing your passive vocabulary. There is a reason. Okay, so reason number 2, just not passive vocabulary, there is another reason why you keep forgetting words and why this passive vocabulary is not getting converted in your active vocabulary. Why not so sure? The thing is that you are not learning these words. The context, that is, you are not referring to the context. You need to understand the context in which a word is to be used. When you are learning certain words, they have a particular kind of context with them. If you understand the context, it will be easy for you to use them next time. When you are having a conversation, now you have learned these 3 words. They are amazing, amazing. You want to use them in a conversation. When you are having a conversation with your friends, with your college, with your colleagues, right? But you do not know the context, you do not understand the context, and at that particular time you will skip using the words because you are not confident enough. You are not confident enough to use them, and hence, because you do not know the context, not able to use them, that's your passive vocabulary. So that's the thing, you need to understand the context while you are learning the word, so that you can use them later on. Okay, now let's come to the solution. We have understand what is happening when you are learning all the words, where they are going, why you keep forgetting those words, and what's the solution then. Let's move on to the solution. For this solution, number 1 is to understand the context while learning words. Okay, because you do not pay attention to the context, you keep on forgetting the words, or they just remain in your passive vocabulary. So the simple solution is to use context, understand the context, pay attention to the context. And how would you do that? This is the question. For instance, example sentences are must. When you learn a word, you learn the meaning, you need to go find the example sentences and understand in which situation are these words used. So until and unless you do not do that, they will be in your passive vocabulary. Only when you will not gain the confidence of using them, because by understanding the context, you are developing your understanding of using that particular word. So that it's just not the context you are paying attention to, no. You are actually trying to understand the uses of the word. So that's the solution number 1. Understand the context completely while learning a new word. Now let's talk about the solution number 2. So the solution number 2 is very simple, guys. That is to convert your passive vocabulary into the active vocabulary. So instead of learning new words, so many words, after words and words, take a pause and try to convert your passive vocabulary into your active vocabulary. Okay, so that is, try to use the word first. You have learned 5 new words, take a pause, use them, then after that learn 5 new words, another words. Okay, so instead of learning 10 new words together at a single time, please take out time, pay attention to what's using them. When you use them, you convert your passive vocabulary into your active vocabulary. Then that is the solution, that you have to move your passive vocabulary to your active vocabulary, because active vocabulary is what makes you remember the words and makes you use them properly while framing the sentences. So when you are speaking English, you will be able to speak fluent English. You will be able to use impressive vocabulary, the vocabulary that you are learning. If you convert your passive vocabulary into the active one, so here is the passive vocabulary, here is your active vocabulary. Move the passive vocabulary, the active vocabulary one, that what you need to do that, and that's the solution number 2. So that is the lesson. It's not so difficult to learn words. So to use words when you are having a conversation, the vocabulary that you are learning using that vocabulary is not so difficult. You can remember that the vocabulary, there is the big solution that can prevent you from forgetting words. Okay, and these are the solutions. So apply them, whatever I have told you today in this today's lesson. Apply it while learning new vocabulary and see the magic. See the magic intensely. Your vocabulary gets, improved. Believe me, guys. So that's it for today's lesson, and I think you like the video. You are getting your solutions from this video. If you like the video, if you enjoyed this lesson, so please give a big thumbs up to this video, and don't forget to share this video, and please subscribe to the channel if you are new here on my channel. So thanks for watching. Bye bye, take care.